Hi there, this is Tim from Racing Central with another video and another row of boxes in front of me. This time I have a few from the NASCAR racing franchise by Papyrus. One that's missing though is the original NASCAR Racing 3 as it was supposed to be and was announced to be, which was using the Grand Prix Legends engine, the more advanced engine that Papyrus developed that obviously evolved into iRacing. It was originally announced for Christmas 1998 release, and it was cancelled twice, and we eventually got it in February 2001 in the form of NASCAR Racing 4. We'd waited more than 2 years past the originally scheduled release to get the groundbreaking Grand Prix Legends physics in a stock car. And in the meantime, we'd received the 1999 edition, the Craftsman Truck Standalone title, NASCAR Racing 3, NASCAR Legends, and the truck add-on for NASCAR Racing 3, all based on the aging NASCAR Racing 2 engine. So, what happened? The company had begun working on their IndyCar Racing 2 physics engine way back in 1995. After a couple of years of engine development and some reasonable testing of stock car physics, it was decided to publish a teaser in 1997 announcing that, alongside Grand Prix Legends, NASCAR Racing 3 would arrive in 1998. A fuller trailer featuring the GPL physics release of NASCAR 3 released midway through 1998, and although it skillfully avoided showing much more than just a little bit of body roll, you could clearly see it was much more advanced than anything else at the time.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Then, having only been notified via the Papyrus forums and on the Rec Auto Simulators newsgroup that the GPL Physics NASCAR release wouldn't be coming due to difficulties running up to 40 AI, excited sim racers were instead given NASCAR Racing 99, a decent title that was based on NASCAR Racing 2's physics that included all three major divisions of NASCAR for the first time. Another year passed until NASCAR Racing 3 was announced, again, with official confirmation that system specifications were still big enough to prevent release of a stock car racing title with GPL physics. The reality, however, was that the difficulty of Grand Prix Legends had been blamed for poor sales, and Papyrus desperately needed to sell copies of anything they could put together to avoid going out of business entirely. NASCAR Legends, also originally planned to use GPL physics, was pushed out the door on older physics, and a kart racing title that could have perhaps changed the landscape of IndyCar games for decades was cancelled entirely. Sim racers entered a new millennium confused why the massive gains in computing speed over the past couple of years hadn't resulted in massively better physics, and why Grand Prix Legends still stood alone. We really entered this odd period where every product was compared to GPL, where even other developers would categorize themselves on whether their upcoming release would have GPL physics or not. And most of us immediately wrote off those that didn't. Finally, though, after a few leaked screenshots had found their way onto the web and rumors circulated, Papyrus officially announced NASCAR Racing 4 at E3 in Los Angeles on May 3rd, 2000, and confirmed a November 2000 release to include that year's Winston Cup and Busch Series cars. We'd finally see that great breakthrough in physics in a stock car simulation. Or would we? No. NASCAR 4 only released after a 3-month delay with 2001 Winston Cup cars and no Busch Grand National roster of any kind. Papyrus went on to evolve NASCAR 4 into NASCAR 2003, and iRacing developed that well into iRacing. Looking back now, with hindsight, obviously, I can completely understand why there was concerns from executives that something was too difficult, it wouldn't register enough sales and things like that. But I also understand that they were dealing with a period of great change in computing. You had DirectX coming along, DirectX coming along. You had massive changes in CPU architectures and things like that, and support levels and things. Your games would run in fast motion, slow motion. You'd have to adapt how the timings worked and things like that. And it was just a really complicated time to be putting out a physics engine that was that advanced. It is, however, really, really sad that we never got to see it. And not just that, but the other titles that would have come from that. There was an unannounced kart racing 1999 that was supposed to come out. There was obviously the NASCAR Racing 3 with the Grand Prix Legends physics engine. And all I can think of is that between 1998 and 2001, we had 3 years of development time that basically didn't go into advancing the engine in the way that it probably would have done. If you think about the difference between NASCAR Racing 4 and NASCAR 2003 being 2 years, where would NASCAR Racing 4 have been if NASCAR Racing 3 was actually using the same engine? And then where would the titles after that have been? It just kind of leaves me a little bit sad as to where we could have been in sim racing, and I think where IndyCar could have been. I don't think it would have potentially lost as many young fans because there would have been racing games and things out there for it. And let's face it, I mean, this right here is prime NASCAR as well, isn't it? You've got the mid 90s to the mid 2000s, even early 2000s, which is when it was even more prime NASCAR. So yeah, it really Papyrus really encapsulates this little era, and it's just sad that we'll never get to see where development could have been if history was different, and if the executives could have been persuaded, or if something had just worked where they decided to take a risk and release it with, I don't know, 20 opponent cars instead of 40 or something like that. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.